Joy Prime, the ultimate experience.
Hello there and welcome back to Prime Morning. It's a Monday. We'll be having the big interview, but today's a special feature. On Friday was World Suicide Prevention Day, and so we've got Dr. Yaw Amankwa Arthur. He's the Acting Director, Health Promotions, Mental Health Authority. He would help us understand what really the situation is looking like, maybe globally and even in Ghana, and what should be the way forward. Welcome and good morning.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, so on Friday, was there anything special even before we go from the basics?
Oh, Friday, our special program was at Agra Girls Secondary School, where we had an awareness program for the students, as well as a psychological first aid for them with some clinical psychologists. Okay. So that if any of them had any issues that they wanted to discuss, there was that provision for them to go and have that talk with the psychologist.
How did it go?
It went fantastic, and I can tell you that we saved some lives.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Good. But let's work our way from the bottom. Tell me exactly what suicide is.
Suicide, oh, that is the basics, my dear.
Very basic.
That is basics. Somebody deciding to kill him or herself.
Okay.
That is just suicide, taking one's own life. That is suicide.
What's the picture looking like in Ghana?
The picture looking like in Ghana is not that pleasant. It's not that pleasant. It's very concerning. Let me cut to the chase, and without giving so much data, because we need to understand what's going on. As at June, just this year, 417 individuals had attempted suicide. Yes. So that tells you what situation we are in now. Over the years, as far back as 2018, the figures have hovered around 700 and 800 attempted.
Wow.
Yes, and with the suicide, because of the stigma behind suicide, if somebody dies by suicide, you report it. I mean, it's been all over the news. Every day, every other day, there's suicide. Trust me, anyone that you guys report, there's 10s and 20s out there that doesn't come out. Okay,
so if you say discrimination against suicide, is it the person that, the stigma, is it, thank you, the stigma, is it the person who has died or the family? Let me understand.
Both.
How? The person is dead and gone.
Oh yes, oh yes, oh yes. Well, you know, in our culture, when you die, natural death, you are given a befitting burial.
Okay.
So when you die by suicide, it's more or less like you've what's the word? You've broken the tradition. So you're not giving a befitting burial. They just wrap you up and.
That's true. Actually, last week we reported a story for a 32-year-old man who had died somewhere in the central region or western region, and the chiefs were actually still arguing whether they should bury the body in the town or not.
Exactly, and the family also face some sort of stigma. Yes, yes.
Okay.
Why did you allow your person to die?
But are we at least getting closer to some of the causes?
Some of the causes, there is no specific cause. The causes are just two-pronged. When I say two-pronged, psychosocial factors and mental illness. Psychosocial factors, I mean, we go through the daily hustles of life. So we are impacted by so many things. Work, family, money, marital issues, whatever. We are impacted by them. Some of these things create psychological distress that lays into mental illness. If both situations come to merge, it worsens the situation. Even the psychosocial problems alone can get somebody to that painful stage that I think that, oh, this, I cannot bear it any longer. The only way for me is to leave this world.
Wow. So
that is basically the causes, psychosocial causes and mental illness. And everybody, not everybody, most people who have died have depression underlying in it. Depression is a mental illness. Yes, they go through that depression stage and it gets to, it's painful. You know, just think about it. Look at physical health and look at mental health. Why should somebody suffer mental illness and it's so painful that the person will decide that I can't bear it any longer, I have to die? consider it that somebody gets into an accident, God forbid, and has their hands amputated. They still live on.
Yeah.
But somebody gets mental illness or goes through marital problems, spousal abuse, sexual abuse for teenagers and all that, and it becomes so painful that I can't bear it any longer. You realize that it's not an easy thing what mental illness is. It's difficult. I mean, when this Olympic Games, Simone Biles, he reported it at the very last minute when she was going for that gold competition. Everybody knew that it's hers. She was going to win, but she backed down because she realized that she has gotten to that stage. She can no longer move on. She had to back out, and there was backlashing from every corner, from people who didn't understand what mental health is. What
she
mental
got depressed. Yeah. Let's look at the data. Maybe not specific data, but age group. Would you say that the youth, if we take about these 400 and a little over 400 numbers that have been reported, what's the common age group? I'll take a sip. In the meantime, you can send us a message. So Friday was World Suicide Prevention Day. It was a day that we took our time to talk a lot more about the causes and things that really would push a person to commit suicide. And so we've been trying to understand, we'll go a little deeper, why it's even a criminal thing in the country. Should it be decriminalized? What are some of the red flags and all of that? We'll be talking a lot deeper, but you can share with us your experience or share with us what you think we can do. Share with us 0551 575757 0551 575757. Do we have, what's the common age group? The young people? Are there a lot of millennials? Are there a lot of the youth or the older folks?
Well, to answer that question, I'll say specifically that the demographic details of those who have died by suicide cuts across.
Okay.
Cuts across all ages, all ethnic groups, educational qualification, gender, whatever. But we would have more of the youth in there. I mean, your reportage clearly states we have less of elderly people, but more of the youth in there. So you can tell that the youth are more vulnerable to suicide than the elderly. But it cuts across. We've had some elderly who have done it. Why?
Why are the youth more vulnerable?
Well, you can't imagine it, my dear. You can't imagine what be so difficult for them that they think that suicide is the only way out. When we went to, just being confidential, not to breach the confidentiality clause when it comes to counseling with what they've told me. Sexual abuse when young or indulging in it and they get to that age, there's that guilt, there's that sort of thing that comes in. It all impacts on them. They get into a relationship and broken hearts and that sort of, they see their friends holding phones, they don't have it. Somebody tells them you are not beautiful. It's all sort of, oh yeah, you are surprised. But those are some of the things that impact on them, you know. Oh yes. So it's a myriad of a whole lot of things that will impact on the individual. To find, it's not that we can see that, oh, those who decide to die by suicide, they all need this. So let's provide that for them.
I was going to ask that. It looks like some of the causes are just so wide.
No. It cuts across psychosocial problems. Everybody, all of us here in this room, if you tell me to tell you everybody's problem, I cannot. But each of us have one problem that we are thinking about, is affecting us. Depending on our resilience level, we are dealing with it and that sort of thing. But some cannot, and some impact heavily than others. And the problems are a million of them. Let's
look at the warning signs, really.
One instance.
The warning signs.
The warning
red
signs.
Flags, what we should be looking out for.
Oh, that is very important question. The warning signs. The major warning sign is that anybody who intends to die by suicide expressly says that I am going to kill myself, I am going to harm myself. They say it in addition to they feel hopeless. I am tired of this world. No, they say it it's not like you've called the person and you are having that serious conversation, so you get to know that this is what the person has said. The person, Adwa, what is going on with you? Oh boy, I'm tired of this world. I really need to go, I'm going to kill myself. It says it in passing. What is going to be your response? Can I speak local language?
Oh, please do.
That person is really serious. Don't take it for granted.
Okay.
So these are kind of the things. They say it as if in passing, but they mean it. Because over the period, you've seen that this your friend, this your colleague is not the same person that he or she is. So you ask, what's going on? And within the conversation, he or she mentions that. You might hear it, you might ridicule him or her, you might not hear it and you let it pass. But that is a signal.
Okay. Well, what if the difficult situation where they don't even express it at all?
Oh, they do.
Really?
They do. Some would send, some for example, will send a text. Would send a text. I'm traveling. I'm not coming back now. So take care of this thing for me. Do that for me. Do that for me. And this is your buddy. And you have no idea that he or she had a plan. Your instinct should calculate that no, this text, and trust me, it has saved the lady. She sent a text to the friend. Said no. So quickly he was fast and made a few calls, and when they got there, she was ready to do it, So his instinct and I personally, years ago, even before getting into this field, I had that experience. This lady friend of mine said, oh, you'll be seeing me for the last time, so look at me very carefully.
And what did you do?
I put her straight to the mother.
Okay.
Before I put her, I said, what do you think, are you thinking about killing yourself? He said, yeah, that's what I intend to do.
Okay. Is this to say that when they pass such comments, we should probe further?
We should take it seriously, my dear.
When you say serious, what do you mean?
I mean, do everything that you can. Everything that you can to help that person. Bringing in another person, most importantly a professional, or other family members, because when other persons come in, that's
are there professionals readily available?
Oh yes, they are. That comment that I have decided to kill myself. Actually, the person is telling you, I don't want to die. Can you help me? It's a cry for help.
Okay. Yeah, explore that, a cry for help a lot more.
Yes,
it's a cry for help.
It's a cry for help. Who doesn't want to live? We all want to live, but that person has gotten to that stage that whatever he or she is going through is so painful and so unbearable that the only way out is by dying. But that person is telling you, this is what I want to do, but actually I don't want to do it. Please help me. Yes.
Quite a difficult situation. But what are the laws say about suicide in Ghana?
What are the laws saying? Our law criminalizes suicide.
Why and how?
Why and how? As far back as 1960, under the British, they criminalized suicide. That suicide, your life was the property of the government. And for that matter, you have no right to take it on your own. And for that matter, if you attempted suicide and you failed, you've committed an offense and it's criminal, you are punished for it. That is why suicide has been criminalized. And because of that, basically, let your family members hear that you've been arrested and taken to the police station. What will happen? Everybody will run to the police station. So if you attempted suicide and you are taken to the British police, and that means your family, all of them are in trouble. So out of that and the stigma and all that towards suicide, that cultural aspect also came in. That has come to reinforce the law. So while the law is dealing with you, the cultural aspect is also dealing with you as a deterrent for people not to commit or die by suicide.
What do you think? Is this working for us?
Oh, it is not, my dear. It is not at all. when the British, they had the same law. In 1961, a year after they had made that law for us, they repealed DS there.
Okay.
And 60 years down the line, we still have that law here. Why? When they repealed DS, they realized that no, it's as a result of the difficult situation underlined by psychological distress that the person decides to die by suicide. So no, we are decriminalizing it. Now let's help that person. So they provide psychological assessment and rehabilitation for that individual that have attempted suicide. And research, evidence is out there that these individuals who have attempted suicide and have gone through psychological assessment and rehabilitation have recovered back to society, and contributing. They are fine. Even in Ghana here, we have examples. So why do we still have this law?
But I'm told that there's a challenge to decriminalize it.
Well, stigma is deep-rooted. Stigma is really, really...
And so even if we decriminalize it, it will not help?
Oh, it will be a good thing.
If we push it, currently it's in court, and so if we push and push...
We need to push it. I mean, we should, within the twinkle of an eye, we should decriminalize that law and put in resource to deal with psychological assessment and rehabilitation. I mean, think about it. I was in so much pain, I decided to die by suicide. And I failed. Now you caught me. You took me to the police station, take me to court, and you jailed me. Have you helped me or your point? The moment I get to the next chance, I'll do it again, because after all, what am I afraid of? Even
at the point where I failed, if I think about the fact that I just might spend the rest of my life in prison or in jail, I might as well just continue with the act.
When that person gets another opportunity, that person is a potential to do it again.
So how many years is a person likely to spend? If the person is jailed for suicide, attempted suicide?
Well, depends on the issue, but I can't give you that ballpark figure. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I saw that there are some helplines. So with what you did on Friday,
yes.
Is that all there is? That's not enough.
That is not enough, my dear. That is not enough. That is not enough. That is why we are called. You know, we have advocated for the best way, the first step that we need to do is to establish a call center.
Okay.
Mental Health Authority had tried to set up a call center, but it's quite expensive. Because, oh yes, 24/7 that people can call in without any cost to them. But the cost comes to Mental Health Authority. But we are already handicapped by our financial position. That is why we are again advocating for the mental health levy to be implemented. That way, Mental Health Authority can raise revenue and take care of some of these things.
Explain a little further. Mental health levy, what does that mean?
That is the major source of that's supposed to be the major source of funding.
So, for instance, if you're paying utility, you would see that there's a levy there, or
well, it's a bit technical. Let's look at how about saving lives, you know. And this call center, like I was telling you, so it's expensive. And we have telecoms companies in this country. We have business organizations in this country. So we are appealing to them that business organizations have conversation. Let's have a conversation and see how we can get that established. Because, I mean, they all have corporate social responsibility. They bet a little bit of funds into that aspect so that we can also save lives, because that is basically what you do. You know, the helplines that we are talking about, our chief executive and other regional mental health coordinators, it's their personal line. Oh, yes.
So all the telephone numbers I see here,
yes.
The regional helplines,
yes.
Wow.
They are regional mental health coordinators.
Okay.
And our chief executive, and you know, you have no idea the number of lives our chief executive have saved when people are lucky to get through to him, because somebody's already on the line. Okay. And he saved lives, talked to people out of this. Okay. So if you have that call center, there are a lot of psychologists, psychiatrists who are ready to do volunteer work. For a fact, when we went to Accra Girls, we took 6 psychologists. They volunteered.
But that's not sustainable. You need resource to make it more sustainable.
And organizations can come to mental health. We can't go to every organization. So, Mental Health Authority, we are adopting St. Mary's, Aquinas. Go and do some education for them.
What exactly should government do?
Government, for me, 1, decriminalize suicide, and 2, establish the mental health levy. If government establishes the mental health levy, our source of funding will improve a bit, and for that matter, we can expend finance to do some of these programs. If the law is repealed, what it means that this psychological assessment and rehabilitation, if we get some funds, we could establish that. So you don't have to take the person to court and to jail and all that. We could bring the person here, take the person through, the person recovers, contributes to family and to the community.
Right. I'll come back if I have time for your conclusion comments. But let's save some more lives. Let's share some of the telephone numbers. We just might share it on our social media pages so that if you have any challenge, you can call. So if you're in the Ashanti region, kindly call 055-538-3056, 055-538-3056. And also, if you're in Brong-Ahafo region, you can call 020-922-8954, 020-922-8954. If you're in the Central region, kindly call 0244-255-594, 0244-255-954. And also, if you are in the Eastern region, 0244-014-348, 0244-014-348. And in the Greater Accra region, please call 0244-249-928, 0244-249 and then 928. And also Northern region 0244-508838, and Upper West 0244-3950-520. I'm sure that I'm jamming the numbers all over, but at least we'll find a way to put the numbers so that you can call if you need help. 020-630-4788 for the Upper East, and in the Volta region 0244-267-1862. Finally, the Western region 0244-890018. Please take this number and then maybe share with your friends and family members who just might need help whilst we are waiting for the levy and all the help that the government can also give us. I'll take your final comments.
Well, the final comments will be that yes, they would make that call to these helplines. In other ways, they could easily walk into any health facility. Any health facility. It must not be the mental health facility in Accra, in Ankafo, and Panta. Any health facility. Okay. There are professionals in there. They should just go in. We have an issue. Just tell their story, and they'll get that help. Okay. They'll get that help. People should also know about. People should not take that comment that I intend to die by suicide very lightly. They should take it very seriously. Okay, Mr. Amankwa. So here's what somebody says. It says that suicide issues are spiritual. It must be handled with spiritual people, not psychologists or philosophy. What'd you say? Well, that is somebody very let's say uneducated or who hasn't, that is a strong word, but for lack of information, for lack of knowledge, my people perish. So for somebody like this, that person really needs serious education about mental health. It's coming from a pastor, actually. Oh, I'm not surprised. He has a model that he's operating on. They put a fear of, these things into their congregation so that they'll come to them with their problems. Okay. And when the problem worsens, it's at this point that they will send the issue to the facility for them to be solved. So yes, no wonder. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mr. Yaw Amankwa Arthur, acting. Oh, doctor. Apologize. I'm so sorry. Dr. Yaw Amankwa Arthur, acting director, Health Promotions, Mental Health Authority. That was so quick, doctor. Thank you so much for joining us in the studio. Thank you for joining us Prime Morning here. We'll see you tomorrow. My name is MFA Kotia Aditi, and do take care of yourself.
Joy Prime, the ultimate experience.